All right. I'm going to give it a couple seconds because I want everybody to get in the room or to get in here. So, sorry we're a little late today. There have been a few complications, but we're back at it. I feel good about everything that's going on today. How are y'all? How are you guys? How are the feelings? How are the vibes today? um, yeah, so land back. Yes, Toby. Comrade Toby. So for those of you that don't know, I am Comrade Saint. My pronouns are he, him, and they, them. I represent the colonized nations of Africa and the indigenous nations of Cherokee and Blackfoot. Um, so I'm going to be the host for Hard Targets, and I'm excited. I'm seeing you guys. You guys like my strawberry shirt? I got it for my partner's birthday. But yeah, so today we're going to be doing Hard Targets. And Hard Targets is a show where we go through Black Hammer Times articles. You know, we give things some more love that needed some more attention. You know, we're trying to call attention to the things that colonized people need to know and pay more attention to. Like, you know, information is power, and they try to take that away from us. So here at Hard Targets, where our goal is to make sure that you get your information and you get the information that you need. I'm gonna camera. Okay. So today we're gonna be talking about two articles. Shout out to the Missouri region today, because without the Missouri region, they have been pouring in articles, and it has been great. If you are a member of Black Hammer and you want to submit an article, come hit us up. Come talk to us. Talk to me. We'd love to have some more people submit some articles. If you haven't joined Black Hammer and you're watching, then you should join Black Hammer for obvious reasons. We're great, and everybody in Black Hammer is great, but also Black Hammer is one of the only organizations that's doing things materially for colonized people right now. So come check us out, and then come join the Black Hammer Tribes Committee. Yes. So today we're going to be talking about the situation that's going on in Missouri right now. So make sure that you're sharing so that people can see. Let people know. Share to your Facebook groups. Share to your group chat. Share to your friends. Yes, Miss Chief Diva. Share to groups all the time. So we're going to be talking about two topics today. We're going to be talking about the Missouri pig chief that refuses the community request to step down, and how COVID-19 booms are happening despite the governor of Missouri opening schools up for the fall semester. So make sure that you guys are sharing, share, so that people can see this, so that we are getting as much colonized people the information that they need to protect themselves, to protect their families and their loved ones. So let's get that up, okay? All right. So if you'll excuse me, I have to look at my phone. Like I said, Missouri Reason has been churning out articles, and it's been great. These have been awesome, full of information to protect yourselves. Already, the COVID-19 boom. Let's go through that, okay? So we all know that the governor of Missouri has been trashed. We've known that the white folks in Missouri have been on one, and it's been crazy regardless. But as of July 23rd, there were 1,637 coronavirus cases that were new. That means in the 2-week period that it takes for your testing to go through, that means that only 1,637 documented cases were there new. We also know that lots of people have been lying about COVID results, whether lying at them for them to be lower or for them to be higher. So as of July 15th, that's 5 days ago, there were an average daily report of over 1,000 cases. That means that even to the point where the cases are being reported daily are just skyrocketing since back to school, since they're opening things up again. There have been a total of 66,397 confirmed cases. I don't have to tell you that the majority of those cases are going to be colonized people. I don't have to tell you that, the system is holding colonized people hostage so that we are having to work, having to go out and force ourselves to be in situations where we're going to contract this. This is and has been something that we've known for a long time. The only difference is now that there is an urgency, okay? We have to be paying more attention to this, because out of those 66,397 confirmed cases, there have been a total of 1,346 deaths. I don't have to tell you that those deaths are going to end up being your family soon. I don't have to tell you that, because so many Hammers have reported that that's been their experience. So many colonized people have been reporting that that's their experience. With the opening of schools coming, that means that the elderly, that means that colonized people, that means immunocompromised people are going to be at risk, because we know, as much as we love our kids, as much as they're precious, as we love them, they're beautiful, they're our future, kids can be gross, okay? And a lot of these schools are still reopening for the fall semester. That means children are spreading this, and they're going to be spreading it fast. You know how hard it is to get a toddler to wash their hands, okay? It's hard. It's a struggle out here, and I don't think people are taking this seriously enough. Despite all of these cases, many businesses have opened. I don't know how crazy that is to you guys, but let me put this in perspective for you. Six Flags St. Louis, located in Eureka, Missouri, has reopened, okay? That's one of the highest reports of COVID-19 cases in the area. If you live because we do live in multi-generational homes, and they know that, they target that, they're doing this on purpose. Six Flags is an amusement park. I don't know if everybody has those where they are, but that means there are lines and lines of people, and lines of people that are probably not taking this seriously, because the aquarium in Missouri opened with a 24 hours advance contract or health declaration contract with no liability to people's health. If your business has to have people sign a contract 24 hours in advance to say that you're healthy, your business should not be open. Not only should your business not be open, I personally feel like you should feel 100% guilty for any of the cases that are coming out, because we all know that zoos, aquariums, libraries are all the only places where lower income, most of the time multi-generational families, have to take their children that aren't super expensive, that aren't gonna stop them from entertaining their children that day. Like, these actions of the state are 100% calculated and targeted. If you've ever worked in a library before, you know for a fact that there are kids running around all the time. There are, elderly all the time. these two groups are intersecting in such a way that it is going to affect everyone else, okay? This is not going to yes, this economy is set up for death. Now the issue is that it is urgent, okay? So when we say these things to you, when we preach to you, when we say that you guys need to take this seriously, that we need to, raise donations for PPE, it's because we are trying to have your best interest at hand, because this system, this economy, this government is not going to do it for you. They aren't going to just continue just because these things are happening. We see that. We see that in these actions, and we see these in the effect of these actions, okay? So, yes, money over everything. The United States is a corporation first. These school systems are a business first. And these children, your children, are their capital, okay? Prevent them from taking it again. Practice your self-governance. Practice your self-determination by not letting them do this to you or your family, your communities, your loved ones, your friends in your group chat. I don't care. Any colonized person is going to be affected by this, and it's going to hurt them the most. We at Black Hammer want to see that, and we want to make sure that that doesn't happen to you. So make sure that you're going and you're donating to Black Hammer's disaster relief, because Black Hammer is the only organization that is materially answering these problems that colonized people have. So make sure you're going to Cash App, #BH Disaster Relief, capital D, capital R, and let us know in the notes that you came from Hard Target, so that we can know and see that your donations are coming from here, because we want y'all to stay safe, okay? And Black Hammer is the only organization that has persons handing out K995 masks, which we know. I covered this last week. Those neck gaiter things, the ones that cover your face Kakashi-like, they're not good for you, okay? So, and if you're wearing a bandana as a mask, they're also not great for you. Some bandanas, the weave of the fabric is too tight that it's like basically not wearing a mask at all. So please, BH Disaster Relief, Hard Targets in the notes. We really want to hear from you. Not only do we want to hear from you, we want to see you guys join. So once again, if you're hearing something today that resonates with you, you want to see something happen for this struggle, you want to, have some answers, and you want to be directly involved in that, make sure that you're going to blackhammer.com/signups, I believe it is. Just go to blackhammer.com, signup.org, sign up, do this so that we can keep helping it. It's \sign-up. Thank you. So we're moving at a great pace right now. Hold on, y'all. I'm thirsty. Make sure also that you guys are drinking your water. Drink some water. This has some stuff in it, but Ooh, yes, Chief Slim. Kids have higher levels of coronavirus and airwaves than adults. That is true. Also, kids are going to be more susceptible to carrying the virus just on principle, because kids do that. Like, I don't know. It just feels like, well, it 100% is this. But if you've ever raised kids before and you see the way that these politicians are talking about sending these babies to school and just doing all this to just... You can't look at what's going on right now and not know that this government is just out to get everybody. Kakashi, like, yes. Yeah, but the next topic that we're gonna go over, and y'all are gonna have to excuse me because you're hearing my mouth. You're gonna hear my mouth on this one, but Missouri Big Chief refuses community requests to step down. We all know how we feel about cops around here. So I'm not even going to say my 2 cents on that piece. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read you this quote from the Missouri governor. He says, "I'm not anti-mask. I just don't think it's the government's place to tell people to wear masks." So let me just say, wearing masks prevents the spread of preventable airborne droplets from entering the mouth, the nose. If you know anything about mucous membranes, you know that when people cough, when people sneeze, when people talk, there's always moisture that's coming out. When you're wearing a mask, that prevents that moisture from reaching another person. That means someone else besides yourself, from those droplets that come from your own body from getting to someone else. I believe like if you sneeze, the force of a sneeze is like over 50 miles per hour, which means that it's spreading like to a radius of like 300 square feet around you. Like, gross. And think about how many times that you've been in a grocery store, or you've been in, at line at CVS or things like that. I think if we can, we're going to pull up an image of the coronavirus and the stats around the Missouri area that we're talking about in question, just because I really want y'all to see what it is that we're talking about. I'm going to give it a second. All right. I guess we're going to just... There we go. Okay. So, if you see this map, this is COVID-19 positive cases in the population by zip code, okay? So, even in the places where it's lighter amounts of cases, we're still reaching over 1,000 positive cases. So for your governor, the Missouri governor, to say some dumb shit like this that is just really astounding to me, I need you to know also that many schools are opening without mask mandates. These darker areas on this map are not these, bougie, petite bouge white people that are going to be suffering. These are colonized people. These areas on this map, you see this map is predominantly covered in blue. Predominantly, that means that colonized people are being affected by this. Predominantly. And we know that that's not by coincidence. It's not because colonized people are more easily it's because the way that this system is set up, it is designed for us to be carrying the brunt of what's happening. And the only reason that this government is starting to care about that is because now they are starting to realize that their workforce, the slavery, the stuff that they're starting to keep up, that they used to have their petite bouge and bourgeois lifestyles, is going to be ending soon, okay? That is why this is important, because we need to take and reclaim our own self-determination so that we don't have to deal with this anymore. They're sending babies younger, second grade and under, don't have to wear masks despite this virus. That means that babies that are the most not able to communicate, they're not going to be able to tell you if they have to sneeze. You know what I mean? They're not going to be able to tell you if they sneezed and now they need to wash their hand. Like, that, there's no way for children to go back to school safely, not without sacrificing everyone else. They're not just sacrificing kids, they're sacrificing the elderly, they're sacrificing teachers. Everyone is being affected by these things. We need to take back this self-determination. This is ridiculous. To the point where he has a quote that I want you guys to internalize. Parsons had nothing good to say about this either. These kids have got to get back to school, he said. They're at the lowest scores possible. And if they do get COVID-19, which they will, and they will when they go to school, they're not going to the hospitals. They're not going to have to sit in doctor's offices. They're going to go home and get over it. Kids like Kamora Brown didn't get to get over it. Kamora Brown was a baby that suffered, did not have to suffer because of mandates like these. We cannot send our kids back to school. We cannot let them get away with this. We can't let them continue with this system. Like, this quote says it all. Like, you can't hear this. You can't listen to this and not be affected by it. But also, you can't hear this. You can't see this. And you can't know that they really just do not care about colonized people. They don't. What? They're not going to have to sit in doctor's offices. They're going to go home and get over it. They're going to go home and get over it. Out of the 66,397 cases, we know that even if these people recover, there is still lasting damage to the fact that colonized people are the most susceptible to heart disease, to cancer, to all of these other issues, medical issues that aren't being checked in and taken care of because we don't have the access to the healthcare that we need already. On top of the fact that now, if you contract this virus, you have no idea what else is going to come from it. Asthma, other. Stevie Shepard said it in GA. They had to quarantine a 7-year-old, and they died. Like, the effect of this virus is so drastically so that it's not. Like, I don't know how to be more clear that this is a calculated risk. Like, these babies are not going to be safe, and these teachers are not going to be safe. Everybody needs to know the truth about this. We need to be taking the self-determination back. Colonized people are at a higher risk to the virus already due to economic and social segregations in colonized neighborhoods. When they're doing these protests in Missouri, the Missouri governor is the same person who said that he would pardon that couple that was pointing guns at protesters in the streets like that. Like, not to even say that, like, in saying that you would pardon them, you're ignoring the law that states that one or more persons and any weapon readily capable of lethal use in an angry and threatening manner is wrong. We already know that they'll take these laws and they'll bend them and twist them to their will because they can, and they always have. This isn't something new. This is something that they've always done. They'll stop at nothing to uphold white nationalism, to hold and keep colonized people under their control, and purposely oppress, subjugate, and actively genocide us. And that speaks volumes. We know for a fact that this has been something that has been happening from jump. We know that we need to take this self-determination back, and that's why you should be joining Black Hammer. Black Hammer just announced the Constitution for Hammer City. We just announced the education plan for students. So make sure you're going to Venmo and Cash App, Build Hammer City, or GoFundMe.com and Build Hammer City. And I'm going to encourage y'all to go to the GoFundMe and leave a note for any other colonized people that, you want to see this, and let them know that by donating, they're taking a step forward to taking their self-determination back. Black Hammers has no white people, no pigs, no rent. Like, we're doing everything that we can to make Hammer City the epitome of taking back our self-determination. The only way that we're going to do that is if we can get unified and we can get all of our colonized family behind us. I'm on the design team for Hammer City. A lot of the things that we're coming up with, I'm just genuinely and truly happy to be working on this project and to get to the place where, as colonized people, I know that I'm not going to have to be looking over my shoulder every moment to just be worried about, some white folks not wearing their fucking mask or, standing 6 feet away from me, which I don't know why white people don't know what personal space is to begin with, but even more so during this time, it's upsetting. Like, no, you can't touch my hair. I don't know where your hands have been, and I'm sure that you have the coronavirus. Please get away from me. It's been a lot, y'all, and we need to take this back. We need Hammer City. We need to just get away from this for our mental health, for our babies, for our elderly, for our immunocompromised. Like, this needs to happen because the government is not taking this seriously. It's like every other week we're seeing sellouts, saying one thing or another about whether, masks should be worn, masks shouldn't be worn, whether these masks are good enough, whether so-and-so is doing this for what. Like, we don't care anymore. Let's take this self-determination back, Let's not focus on that. Let's follow our own laws, our own determination. Bree Poston says, I'm in Missouri and my son's school has already decided to go back to fully virtual in the fall based on outbreaks. Our website has a place to get homeschooling in your local area. So definitely, take that. It's going to be on the Black Hammer website under education. Educate your babies on what's going on. Be honest with them about what's going on. Let them know that the system isn't helping them. Build Hammer City and let them know that you are helping, coming up with a solution to these problems. I'm only 22 years old. I'm not that far away from being a kid yourself, and a lot of my times growing up, I would be so frustrated because all of these issues were happening and it seems like nobody was talking about them. Nobody was doing anything about them. Don't pass that frustration on to your kids. There's babies that I take care of. I'm not passing that on to them either because I know at the end of the day that this is going to be the answer for them. This is going to be what they need, like they need to have an understanding that that we need to take this self-determination back. We need to be the people that they see taking care of this. We need to be the people that they see us providing answers when we're living under a system that doesn't. So make sure that you're going to donate to Build Hammer City and GoFundMe/Build Hammer City because we want to get this up and running. We want to do this. We want to stop these babies from having these questions, these frustrations, these deaths, all of it. We want to stop it and nip it in the bud where we are. Like, it's got to stop, We were supposed to have an interview today, but instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask and reach out to y'all and see if y'all have any questions for me. What is it about this that you feel that hasn't been covered? What do you want to hear Black Hammer Times talk about more? How are you feeling? Like, what do you feel about this? I've seen some comments. I know you guys are on the wave. You guys, some of you guys are on the wave on knowing that this isn't okay and that we need to take this back. But what is some information that you feel is being escaped from you? I'm gonna wait a second and I'm gonna sip my water. Oh, questions. Anybody? Oh, y'all. Along with this coronavirus, these white people are making the environment crazy. It is so hot in North Carolina right now. I am dying. But yeah, while we're waiting, I want to just plug Black Hammer Times one more time. I'm Comrade Saint. I'm Secretary of Black Hammer Times and host of Hard Targets, and we've been doing our best. Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm burping like a balloon. We've been doing our best to cover everything in regards to what's going on. We've been doing our best to cover an article a day, trying to make sure that we're keeping you updated with everything that they're either trying to hide or keep from us, because that is the most important. We have to get better educated. So make sure that you're tuning into the Black Hammer Facebook page, the Black Hammer Instagram, just making sure that you're getting your information as quick and fast as possible. So make sure you're going to build Hammer City. What is North Carolina doing in the face of coronavirus? North Carolina in the face of coronavirus, with the kids that I help raise, we've been given the option of giving our babies homeschooling, or they can homeschool part-time, but they just recently gave all of the colleges the free reign to open up. And already in North Carolina, we've had 3 new clusters on one college campus. And if you know, North Carolina has a ton of state schools. So that means that right now we are red hot with positive cases, which means that now, as of today, I believe that they have moved all courses online again already. I know there are 3 clusters on the NC State campus. I know there are 5 cases on the UNC State campus. If you live in North Carolina and you want to actively get into helping the North Carolina, South Carolina chapter with passing out PPE and stuff, make sure that you're joining. Let us know. We're trying to pass out masks as much as possible, because if you go to any of the colleges now, like, there are tons of people just not wearing masks, tons of people coming from all over the United States because people are opening things up early before they should have been. It's just been crazy. It's been ridiculous. But as far as what Black Hammer is doing is we've been placing flyers out to let y'all know that we're coming up with a long-term solution by building Hammer City. We've been passing out PPE to lots of the homeless, the bus stations, any colonized person that we see that doesn't have one. We have been pushing to make sure that that's been the case as well. So yeah, it's just astounding how the colonial news is actually trying to get parents behind this back to school BS. What should parents do if they have to get back to work but don't want to send their kids back to school? That is a huge one. Well, the first thing that I would say is I would sit down and I would talk to your kids. Communication is going to be key. You can't have a good relationship with your kid unless you're communicating, especially right now. I know tensions are high. You guys are home all the time. You don't want to be around each other anymore. You don't want to talk to anybody anymore. Like, you don't want to argue about why you can't do this and what, but you're going to have to struggle through that. You're going to have to struggle through it and talk to your kid. Listen to what they have to say. Listen to their frustrations and, internalize those, because the sooner and faster you internalize those, the easier and smoother it is going to be for any other, unprecedented times, coming up. The next thing that I would do is I would go to Blackhammer, the Blackhammer website, and I would check out the homeschooling. Checking out that homeschooling tab, making sure that your children are getting educated on what they can do as colonized kids in the state of what's happening. Letting them know that there are people who are coming out with material solutions to what's going on. And then I would say keep your baby and you home as much as possible. Now would be the time to talk. Now would be the time to talk about, the revolutionaries that have gone through this or have gone through the same thing. Now would be the time to, go to the Blackhammer website, and if your kids are old enough, read this with them. Read the articles with them. Have them, sit with you while you discuss something. Letting them know that they need to be active, in their own future, because something that, a lot of colonized kids feel is that they are trapped. They feel like they have to do one thing or the other, and there's not a lot of wiggle room, not a lot of option, not a lot of room for the self-determination that there's just starting to grow the taste for, the want for, So I would say that as of right now, that is the best that you can do for short term until the long term happens of, getting them ready to move to a Hammer City near you. We only have each other. Colonized people are only as strong as we let ourselves have the responsibility for. When we take that strength back, when we give ourselves permission to have that self-determination, when we say, no, this is enough, that is when we can start caring for our children as best as we possibly can. I truly believe that. I'm in Missouri, and what's not being exposed is colonized people's access to basic necessities. Our people have to go through so many loopholes to get help, and these policies are being made from the top down, not caring about colonized people at all. Keep exposing these. Exactly. And we will. And that at what Blackhammer is all that we're here for, because we are servants of the people. Now, I am going to read the announcements. If you are not following the Blackhammer page, you need to. Blackhammer has a ton of things for colonized people to be getting their self-determination back. So check out our gun club video on Facebook with Chief Malcolm. Chief Malcolm is part of our security team. They are doing our best to get that out and get us and everybody else to being safe. This Sunday, Chief Nas and Commander and Chief Ghazi are reading the Black Jackmans for the book trap, the Revolutionary Book Trap at 11 a.m. We stay reading here in Blackhammer. Political education is so important. If you're not politically educated, how are you going to educate your children? How are you going to educate their children? And so on and so forth. We need to get educated. Knowledge is power, and the United States knows that. And that is why they're pushing for your kids and your babies to be going to school, because they know that knowledge is power, and the more knowledge that they get and propaganda that they can push into your kids, the more that they can keep your kids and you in the system. And then every Monday we have the Oh My Ghazi show at 8 p.m. So make sure that you guys are coming and watching. And of course, we have Hard Targets every Thursday with me. We're going to be going over, the news articles. I believe next week we're going to be talking about that situation in Iowa. There was a land hurricane out there. And I believe a majority of the United States crops have been destroyed because of it. Nobody's talking about it. The national news isn't talking about it. That happened 5 days ago, so we're going to try to cover that as soon as possible. So make sure that you guys are staying in and staying tuned in, rather. So we're going to wrap up, and I want to make sure, first things first, that you guys are going to Build Humor City, the GoFundMe page, and you're donating. If you're not donating, then you need to be sharing, okay? Share it to somebody and let them know, like, hey, I know that you want a material, solution to this. Well, here's something that you can help put in on. Or, hey, I thought you saw that. I saw this and I thought of you. I thought about that rant you were going on. Like, send it to somebody. Somebody needs to see it. Somebody needs to know that, there's an answer out there. And don't keep that to yourself. Keep this sunshine flowing. And make sure you're donating to Black Hammer Disaster Relief Fund on Cash App and Venmo. That is capital BHD disaster, capital R relief. Because we need to be getting out PPE to all the colonized people that need it. Every colonized person needs to be and deserves to be safe right now, regardless of what's going on. And at Black Hammer, we're servants of the people. We notice that our people need this, so we're doing that. We're giving, and we are giving money to this campaign so that we can make sure that you guys are safe. You deserve that. And I hope you take that self-determination to agree that you deserve it as well. So, and that's really all that I have to say about it. The topics that we picked today, we talked about the Missouri pig chief refusing to step down regardless of the community's request, because the community has ample reason to say that they don't want that, but the refusal of it despite it. And then we went over the COVID-19 boom that's going on in the Missouri state right now. If you're in Missouri, my heart reaches out to you, and I hope you join me in this revolutionary struggle to regain our self-determination back. This has been Hard Targets. I'm Comrade Saint, and it was so good to see you guys.